Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 14. As my computer struggles to load this replay, that tells you something's wrong about it. This is going to be between AreKharak and PhoenixYo. And PhoenixYo obviously was 2-0'd by Discara. Discara you really have to pin as a favorite for entering the upper bracket. The question then, I think, is between these two players who's going to be able to go upper. And in that case, this is actually a really important match here, so we'll see how it goes. You know AreKharak likes to spam rails, everyone knows that, especially Captain Pink. PhoenixYo, I think, still has some meme strats in mind, but it just really didn't seem to do anything against Discara. But, you know, Discara is definitely one of the best players in the world, so, perhaps the best right now. So you're not terribly surprised about that. We'll see if it works against AreKharak then. But hopefully I've set the stakes pretty well. This is a pretty important series. Red apple versus lemon. Yeah, I have to agree. These are cookies colors. Anyway, that's a hotly debated issue. Looks like 7-up here for PhoenixYo. He's still building. No, he's building LAVs now. Oh, and AreKharak is doing it too. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I guess to be fair, we've seen this before. AreKharak tends to not really go SC first here. But if they meet in the midfield, it's anyone's guess who wins that. The yellow fellow, indeed. Living in a pueblo in Monticello. Made of cellophane. Eating yellow jello. He's quite a mellow fellow. He plays the cello. Anyway, AFV tab gonna be started here for PhoenixYo. Just Carry has found another victim to proselyte towards. First contact actually going to be made over here. The LAVs had just left. But they'll come back. You don't really want to use TJ for this, because this is kind of just an obvious fight for you to win. It's 2-on-1. He's going to hold that cooldown alright. But I think he's getting the sensors ping because of the probe that there is an LAV here, so I think AreKharak might do well to send a couple of people over to there, but yeah, it's true, and I mean, Joke Patch is just so ridiculous that you kind of do need to learn it, you know what I mean? But anyway, AreKharak is building a support cruiser here. Oh gosh, it's my alarm. Listen to that. Anyway. Yes, it is indeed, from the Homeworld 1 soundtrack. Anyway, this is rail tech done for AreKharak already. No surprises there. Again, that's how he likes to play. This base runner here is probably going to fall. You can use the TJ to buy a little bit of time here, but it's not going to be easy to survive. New builds for a new age, man. You're living in the past, dude. For Joke Patch. Oh, you really want to finish the base runner here. It's good to kill this thing off before I can use TJ again. Yeah, he will get it again. And there's just one LAV doing a bit of harassment over here. It's actually shooting the probe down. That's pretty good. Railgun tech is done for AreKharak. Probe being dead means he's not going to see the timings for the AAVs here. But you know, if he just goes ahead and builds railguns, he'll be fine, right? He'll be fine. Well, you know, you 2-0'd Sick IGN, I 2-0'd Sick IGN. You're upper bracket at this point already. I think it's guaranteed, actually. Right? Because Couch Mal's gonna unfortunately have to drop his games. So may well happen if AreKharak can win this series and get up into the upper bracket. And again, this is between him and PhoenixYo pretty much, so this is, you know, this is pretty important for these guys. But AreKharak is not building railguns yet, crucially. Well, too bad. You don't have a choice. It's been decided. Here we go. He's building railguns now. He does have magic cells started as well. Yes, exactly. Soon TM. Well, the thing is, the group stage deadline is today, but enough games that are kind of crucial to the scorelines haven't been played yet that I'm a bit inclined to extend it by a little. But otherwise, you know, we should start them just right after the group stage ends, so... Yeah, soon TM, we'll call it that. Couple smokes being used here, this is pretty effective, of course. Yes, today was the group stage deadline. Well, that's the reason why SickIGN wanted to wait until today, because for some reason I thought that would be funny. So... A couple more ALM's gonna be deployed here to just make sure you can finish this off. Plus he needs the pop cap anyway. I think. I mean, if this one dies, he'll need that one. It's getting low. Oh, but the SC is healing it. Come on. Ah, it does end up going down. But yeah, you know, at that point, like, okay, you got a couple of ALMs here, but, you know, AreKharak can just easily replace them. And at this point, we can look at the game state, and it looks pretty grim. Like, your opponent has a big tech lead, because he's got the railguns already. You need to find an answer to that. And he's on 2 base, so, you know, I feel like AreKharak is actually in a really good position here. And I think a lot of it comes out the back of just some good LAV trading in the opener. You know, if there were still LAVs to make threat there, I think that goes a little differently, but... AreKharak pretty easily won that fight. He didn't even have these guys, like, in the fight over there, but... And he's AreKharak. He's gonna spam rails. That's what he does. Exactly. Yeah, that's what he does. So, he's got the probe here to make sure that he knows if the AAVs start chasing up onto his main base, then he can reposition the railguns, but for now he wants to push. And that's what kind of map KT is, right? I mean, you want to, you know... It's a map where you really need to have, like, positioning on your opponent pretty well here. Make sure that you're ready if he's coming down this track to meet him there, if he's coming down this track to meet him there. So, yeah, this probe is giving some pretty big value for AreKharak. Extraction gonna come out as well, that's the 3rd one. And drive on top of it, yes, wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, Smoke's gonna get deployed here, just so that he doesn't get shot to ribbons. Sadly not though, right? Because again, they don't drive on top of it, they drive inside of it, and then they like can't get targeted by anything. AreKharak a little bit mispositioned here, by the way. He's actually gonna get jumped on by these LAVs. What do you do about this? That would be a good one, yeah. That's a lot of ALMs, though. Oh my gosh. Is this like a valid defense? You just put ALMs? Oh gosh, I hate it. Yeah, he's just gonna ignore that and attack on this side. Yeah. Like, he can just kind of do this. Well, he doesn't have any power, actually. He just has a bunch of artifacts, but it works. And he's not even gonna go to 3 base. He's just gonna bring the fight to PhoenixYo right now. And I mean, what do you do? Like, PhoenixYo doesn't have anything here. He's actually eco-suiciding to just try and drive out and beat him, but that's kind of a death sentence already. He's got air though, so he could build a gunship, I guess. If he can find the money for it. Yeah, it's... Well, I mean, it tells you what it does, but not in any exact terms, does it? LAVs for PhoenixYo haven't been upgraded at all, by the way, so these LAVs will be able to fight back a little bit. I mean, this is actually probably the best use case for a gunship, right? When your opponent has all these LAVs masked up here. like how AreKharak is just not even interested in shooting this carrier. He's like, nah, I've got better things to do. Like, I can shoot at LEVs, it's better. He won't shoot at this carrier until he absolutely has to. Yeah, look, he's hitting a salvager first. And now he's moving up on the free base. Yeah, this carrier will die eventually. Just a matter of time. Probe and LAVs can keep vision here. And that will be. Oh yeah, and the 5th artifact too, I kind of forgot. He almost won 2 ways at the same time. So. You know what's funny that just Carrier and I learned recently is that, like, if you're in sudden death, right, and somebody GG's, then their carrier starts exploding, but the base runner explodes immediately that they're holding, and so you win by artifact extraction before their carrier can blow up. That's just the funniest thing. Yes, exactly. Well, we'll jump into game 2 here. It's a good start for AreKharak, and it all rides on this last game. PhoenixYo would win the tiebreak, of course, so... AreKharak will need to win this one as well, but... I mean, honestly, that felt pretty easy for him. And now we move on to the Shallows. This is PhoenixYo's pick. Because, you know, of course it is. This is a map that he seems to really enjoy. I like the targeting jammer here. You know, you can set up like a channel of targeting jammers if you have enough time with the base runner. It's very funny. It looks like he's just gonna retire here. But yeah, it makes it take just forever to flank on this side. It's an interesting rock texture. It kind of looks like something you'd see on rocks that were much smaller than this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be a LAV fab for PhoenixYo here. And for AreKharak as well.
LAV now available for production.
Ah, yes, actually, you're right. Yeah. Is there water on Kharak? I almost forgot. What do you suppose this green is? Like, is it just wild grass, or is it, like, meant to represent trees or something? I don't know. Probably it's just wild grass, I guess. And why is there this big, like, crater here anyway? Like, this thing doesn't ever seem to impact the gameplay. It's very strange. And on the south, right? That's that whole Majir joke, you know? I can smell the sea, it's only a little further. Yeah. But it's just same old from AreKharak. You know how I feel about queuing this many units? Look. Be better to just cancel these two and get... Yeah, I mean, production upgrade or an SC or something. Yeah, it's not the way to go. The way to go.
Spectrum analysis has identified an artifact. Artifact extraction in progress. Location marked. Proceed to rally point.
It's gonna be fighter and gunship tech for PhoenixYo very, very early here. And railguns for AreKharak, no surprise there. However, he would like to get some scouting here because he'll want to be ready to fight fighter and gunship. PhoenixYo actually has gotten an SC, but he went LAV first. Like, this is a astoundingly slow eco. I mean, AreKharak is going very slow on it, and he's still going to be faster. Like, that tells you what. because of this pressure here. We want to kill this LAV first, though. Uh-oh. Be careful not to waste this. Jetpacks are going to land, and they do some actually pretty good damage. Yeah, you really want to just hit the LAVs first. You're probably not going to be able to kill the support cruiser here, so it's best to just kill the army and stop the support cruiser from getting on 2 base. If you lose your LAVs, then you lose the threat, so... That's going to be fine, though. And his carrier's going to start moonwalking over to the base here. Air tech done now. So this is where AreKharak would really benefit from getting a scout off, and he does have the LAVs close. The threat? So the threat made me cook my Soban for too long, and now my breakfast is ruined. Can't have receivers. Anyway, he's gonna see the air tech though. I think he noticed that. Remains to be seen though. Yeah, because, you know, cannibalism. Anyway. But yeah, if I were him, I'd be getting AV fab here and then in the microwave. Yes, exactly. If I were him, I'd be getting AV fab here so that you can get missile batteries set up, because it's gonna be double gunship because it's PhoenixYo. Like, this is just what he does. You want to be ready for this. LAVs have some anti-air. Yeah, they can't kill a gunship, not unless your opponent really falls asleep at the wheel. So, you know, you can use the anti-air turret post though. Yeah. But if the base runner is out here on this side, that won't really be available to you. Look how slow this is though, like he's not gonna finish the second one for a long time now. And he's been envisioned this whole time, like AreKharak should know about it, like, he's just not paying attention, I think. Finally gets that second gunship queued. So that's not gonna be done for like another 48 seconds or whatever it is. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Enemy contact on sensors.
I mean, just even in terms of time, like, I'm not a fan of this build either way, but even in terms of timing, you know, if you're gonna go this way, like, this is just bad. You could have been going in for your second sortie already. You know, this is tremendously slow. I don't know why his carrier's having such difficulty putting an ALM down. That's alright.
Enemy contact on the board.
Galzian in the air. I don't think so. Anyway, here come the gunships. Let's see what kind of value they can get. No sign of anti-air for AreKharak here. You know, there's a serious worry that, like, even if you kill off all the salvages on the main base, let's say, some miracle gunship play, you could just still die, you know? So, like... Yeah. But yeah, I think AreKharak could really, you know, do to just attack here. Because, like, yeah, your opponent spent all this time building the gunship. He can't even do anything to you. To be fair, again, gunships are a lot better against coalition salvages, but not if you're shooting the SC. Oh, no. Oh, PhoenixYo. He's gonna lose all of his ammo and just go back to base. And, yeah, like, you know, there's serious threat on PhoenixYo here. Like, he could die. This is not a joke. Even LAVs actually do some pretty significant damage against a carrier when it's being sundered, when it's so long. You gotta keep these guys in line of sight. But... Oh, this gunship might even die because it can't dock yet. That would be bitter. That would be bitter. Now it looks like he's gonna focus the ALM down instead. AV fab on the queue, that's gonna be for anti-air. And yeah, you know, PhoenixYo's carrier's taking a lot of damage here. So... Looks like he will survive for now, though. Oh, gosh. Okay, there we go. That just takes forever, man. A TJ base runner with an artifact does not drive very fast. Suffice to say. Gunships launching one at a time here, by the way. That's actually really significant because, you know, SCs have the healing the whole time, so... It's like he wants to actually go for the SC. You should drive this back to the other one so you can heal it. Oh, alright, your reaction time is not good. I think maybe he could have kept this thing alive. The two SCs moved together. But here's where the gunship thrives. This is what it's actually meant for. And you can see, look, it does a good job at it, alright? I just want everyone to look at this real quick and say, look at that! The gunship actually has a job. I should maybe have it do that instead of everything else. You see, it works. It kills LEVs. Good job, PhoenixYo. That's the first proper use of a gunship we've seen in the entire Jaraci Cup. Gosh. Anyway. Actually shooting at Strikecraft. Can you imagine that? Gosh. Anyway, so AreK is gonna have the missile batteries up now, though, so I think that the era of the gunship is kind of over. I mean, it's debatable. I think it's actually pretty good, because again, it's pretty tanky as well. That's the thing. Like, strike fighters actually will die to LAVs there. If there's missile ships, you know, and you want to kill the sand skimmers, the gunship can often be a lot more survivable than the strike fighters. I think it could be a great unit. It really has to be used that way. You can't be using it to, you know, attack Eco or else. Well, we've seen what happens. I won't reiterate that one. This flank gonna be annihilated, by the way. Very nice mortar. That's a lot of AEVs. It's taking a page out of Just Carrier's book. But that's a lot of railguns, you know, and I feel like that's enough to just defend. PhoenixYo will have armor 3 though, and that's pretty good. But I think AreK is just well on his way to his rail spam dreams, and it's fine. Yeah, it's not exactly like 30 of them, you know. You ever see the gunship tanking a little bit, but just too many missile batteries. There are 4 of them here, so it is going to go down. Smoke's being deployed finally. But, yeah, there's even, you know, double mortar opportunities here. So, I think AreK's going to do just fine. Yeah, exactly. Just, you know, they can ignore like 1 or 2 missile batteries, but eventually it stacks up. And that's a full army wipe right there. PhoenixYo, by the way, finished teching ACs and now he's teching BCs. I don't really know why he would do both, but... Yeah, I think if you're AreK here, you just kind of stabilize, just get up to 3 base, and then game's, you know, game's pretty easy from there. You've got all the army in the world, your opponent doesn't have any, so you've got all the time in the world. Looks like it's gonna be a tech switch for PhoenixYo. He wants to go for LAVs here instead now. And, you know, AreK doesn't have any armor yet, but I imagine he'll rectify that before too long. My game's starting to like lag every time I go out of sensors. Maybe there's a memory leak or something. Feels like DOK ends up lagging after enough time and you have to restart it. I think I'll do that real quick after the series. Of which this is game 2 of 2, so... That won't be too long now. That is pretty cool. I think the Coalition one does that too, though, right? Yes. We've learned that together. And then eventually the sound will stop. Yeah, it's weird. So PhoenixYo will know the 3 base timing. I think he's building BCs right now. It's got to be, right? I mean, what else builds that slowly? That's a lot of LAVs he's got there. But yeah, look at this. You know, heavy vehicles armor is starting to tech. And I don't know. I kind of feel like AreKharak is gonna be okay. It depends, I guess, on these mortars. If he lands some really good mortar shots, he'll be totally Gucci. These sub-bomb rails are starting to hurt him too. Pretty bad mortar shots actually. This is where PhoenixYo wants to go in though, not out, because he already took all the damage on the lead up. But he agrees he can't really get in there. I mean, look, it's just railguns. This is ideally the counter unit for the LAVs, but you don't have any ups, so you know, how can you kill them? Too many ALMs to stun you as well. That's rough. BCs are out though. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Isn't that weird? Yes. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the BCs are actually going to be really, really good if they have an army behind them, but they're not some ace in the hole, right? So, you know, it's tough. Armor 3 is done, by the way, and these rails are tanky as heck. They've got Mag Excel, of course, they've had that for a while. And now it's time to start teching systems as well. And you know, that Sobon carrier gets pretty dangerous by the end of the game. It seems like he just wants to power up the ALMs. Honestly, I'm really not a fan. I mean, you know, the Sobon carrier is like really high DPS when you power it up. It's pretty sad to lose that just for some ALMs that don't even do too much. But, you know, he just retired a salvager? He did, right? But from where? He's got full saturation. That was weird. I'm not even gonna speculate. Just can't be normal. I will say, with the ALMs powered up like this, you know, he's got some pretty good defense on the... He's got some pretty good defense on the flanks here. And PhoenixYo has won games like that before, where he just switches into LAVs, but I've always felt like if your opponent answered it properly, it wouldn't work, and I think this is a pretty good example of that. LAMs. Ah, just carrier. Never change. Never change, my boy. Can even do some ALM spam over here. It's not gonna work though. I mean, ALM spam is generally a bad strategy, and I've explained that before. The railguns here are what cleans this up. So that's pretty nice for PhoenixYo, or sorry, for AreKharak. But yeah, PhoenixYo has all the cruiser techs. He's only built BCs. I mean, I don't know why he needs all these, but these are some on BCs though, and there's 4 of them, so this is a notable force, but I still feel like railguns are kind of the natural counter to that, and he's got them. He's got a lot of them, in fact. So this is not going to be, you know, he's not going to be some ace in the hole here. Even these AAVs are going to contribute. They help screen off the LAVs from the railguns. And that's 10 railguns. So, you know, nominally you'd say that 4 BCs is like 16 railguns, but it's really not the same DPS. Oh yeah, and that too. It's 2 base versus 3 base, so never forget. Not to mention, AreKharak does have a base runner, so he can put on some pressure with these artifacts, make his opponent come over to the extraction zone. Yeah, he doesn't even want it. He's like, nah, you know, ah. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. Well, so. Yeah. Well, and it's effective. This PC doesn't have smoke left, so it is gonna go down. Artillery pops, though. 2 of them. And I think a 3rd on the way. And this is maybe gonna be what he needs to swing things. Artillery is very good against railguns. If I were AreKharak, I would start considering maybe switching into something else at this point. You might go for, that's cool. You might go for fighter and gunship at this point. Just because bombers are very, very effective against BCs. Well, against any group. Which BC goes down on that flank. The railgun numbers are definitely thinning out now. This BC is gonna fall, though. Can you get this one? artillery cruiser falls on that side. Oh, look at this! He puts down the ALM, and the artillery is like hitting himself there. That's so funny. Big brain plays by AreKharak here. And all the BCs are dead now, so yeah, now it looks pretty easy. A lot of good that AC tech did though. I wonder if he clicked that by mistake or something, because it just seems like that was never part of the plan. But this is what I was saying before, it's like, and by the way, he's retiring the eco, so that tells you the game's over. This is what I was saying before, the BCs are really good units, but they need to be used in conjunction with an army that is supporting them. You know, you can't get away with just using the BCs. Oh, this is kind of a mistake by AreKharak. So, his opponent just barraged him, and now he's backing away, but your opponent just used his damage. Now you want to go in, you don't want to back away. There's no damage left. That's a bit unfortunate. Gotta kind of play around your opponent's cooldowns a little bit. That's okay, I mean, AreKharak can back away, you know, he'll be fine. And again, I think that Bomber's a good call here. PhoenixYo retired his whole eco for some reason, so he's not going to have any follow-up at all. I really don't know why he would do that. AreKharak's carrier has looked better. And, you know, maybe he can just extract the win, that's also a possibility. He can build a base runner if he wants one. That would give him the game-winning artifact. Artillery may be able to turtle on this choke point, but it'll never push out across the field, so, you know, that is a pretty much guaranteed win if he wants it. Doesn't look like he's interested. That's a lot of artillery, to be fair. Kind of amazed PhoenixYo had the money for this. But, like, he's never gonna... Yeah, he's literally impossible for him to build South business and retires with these things. So, everything you kill here is pretty much permanent, right? Yeah, when Descara had, like, 15 artillery cruisers trying to pincer my Gaussian carrier, and I somehow managed to get away and win. That is a sweet memory. Artifact goes down, that is number 4. These ALMs are actually killing the artillery vehicles. Okay, that's pretty funny, I will admit. That's pretty funny. Yeah, coalition problems, right? These two carriers are not created equal, I'll tell you what. But these ALMs do 200 damage per shot, they've got 3 packets, but it doesn't even matter. They're actually killing this carrier. And AreKharak can just do whatever he wants. I mean, PhoenixYo giving him a bit of an easy game, to be honest with you. Bit of an easy series. It will be a 2-0, and that's PhoenixYo down to the lower bracket. So, well played to AreKharak. Let's move into the next one.